What's going on, big brother? How you doing today?
Oh man, I'm just enjoying myself. I'm here in San Antonio, Texas, at a park called Madison Park, man, on this Thursday night special. I'm having fun, man. Taking care of some personal business, and there's a park across the street from where I'm at. I said, let me run to the park and do this broadcast like this in the park. How does it look in the background?
I was going to say it looks nice back there. It looks like a good little scene set up. That's how I was going to ask you. You got to be remote, but yeah, it's looking good where you at.
Yeah, you just hating because you look like you in a penitentiary or somewhere back there with them walls like that, man. So what we talking about tonight?
Today, it's going to be about life lessons, as far as understanding about our personal growth. And at the bottom of the screen here, it's crawling on the bottom. It says this life lessons about what we've learned through life. How has these issues, or what has taught us these things about life? Would you say that this is going to be a two or a three-part special? Or do you think it could be more?
I think it's gonna probably be more only because there's so many life lessons that we should have learned by now as adults, and the experience that we've all gone through. It should have taught us something, Chaz. And I think
Right.
it's time for us to we need to grow up. And
Yeah.
life should have taught us all some valuable lessons. And sometimes we don't sit back and take time out to say, what are those lessons and how can we encourage other people? Because we all have learned some lessons and some of us haven't. So let's
Right.
look at what life's lessons has taught us as it pertains to how does it affect us being better people when we apply those lessons.
All right, well, let's go ahead. Let's get it started. Let's go ahead and fire this one off. Number one, lessons, understandings gained from real life experiences that change how we think, act, and decide. And this is, I keep going back to this. We all had that stage in our life where we smoked, we drank, we probably did pills, all those kind of things. But by now, at the age of 40, 50, or the 30s, however old we are, we should have grown up by now. That is understanding where 9 times out of 10, if you keep living that life, you're either going to get pulled over by the police, you're probably going to get in an accident, or something tragic is going to happen. So we shouldn't keep pushing the envelope, living that way, thinking we're young, thinking we're hip. That's got to stop. So I keep going back to that. Those are, to me, a life experiences that we should have learned from now. Basically, at an old age, we still should be, carried on like these young guys. What's your take on that?
Yeah, and I think the crawl basically tells us these are lessons. A lesson would be something that are their understandings that we gain, and we gain them from real life experiences, you see. And these experiences should be that which change how we think, how we act, and how we decide. And that's why many grown people, we shouldn't be acting the way we acted when we were teenagers because now we're grown now, Chaz, and life should have taught us some lessons by now. And sometimes it's like it hasn't taught us lessons because we haven't listened to those lessons. You know, people always say, been there and done that. But what have we learned from doing that? Are we
Right.
repeating the same mistakes? And you're right, we're too old, many of us, to act the way we act because we haven't learned anything from life. And that's what this broadcast is about tonight, is to encourage us about the lessons. And if you have any lessons that you learned about life, just go ahead and comment so we can talk about what have you learned, what have you experienced about life that we need to talk about, because a lot of us, Shaz, we act like we're still children and we got to grow up.
Absolutely. Now I want to go ahead and drop this on the people real quick. You guys are watching adults only. This is our new pictures and stuff that we got. And I want to show them this one too, real quick. Let's see here. These two, I really, really like this one as well. But let me go ahead and get to the comments. We got a couple of viewers who've came in. We've got Sister Barbara. She fires in here. She says, "Good evening, brothers. We appreciate her." And Sister Mashonda fires in here. She says, "Hello. We appreciate you as well for firing in here." Okay, so when we go back to our points here for the number two, is today's main point. We must all live and learn. And I keep saying that. There's nothing wrong with getting older. There's nothing wrong with going through trials and tribulations. But once again, we should not still be carrying on. For example, you have a homeboy that you used to go to school with, and you meet him at CVS or Walmart or wherever, and he sees you and says, you still look the same. You still doing you still basically carrying on the way you did when we were in middle school, basically saying, I'm not gonna never change. This is just who I am. I don't have any room for maturity. I don't have any room for growth. This is how I want to be. Now, when people have that mind frame, it goes to this right here, where basically you're not learning anything. You're living, but you're not learning. But as we see on the screen, you must live and learn.
I think that's what life is all about, Chaz, because life teaches us lessons. Ever since we were little children, we all have gained some type of experience from life. And so, like it says, we must live and learn. How can we live and not learn? That's terrible to be living a life, but you don't learn anything. Now, as children, that's how we are because children are at that stage where they're still maturing. But for a 40, 50, 60, 70-year-old human being, that can't even say, I want to put on this screen, this is one thing that I have learned about life. This is what life has taught me. We ought to be ashamed of ourselves. And I believe, Chaz, and I'll turn it back over to you, but I believe this is why we're in the rut that we're in today, because we're not looking
Mm.
at what life has taught us, you see. We're looking at everything else, but we're not looking at what life has taught us that we can share with other people so other people can glean from our lives lessons.
Well said, brother. Go ahead and fire off to the next one here. Experience in life should have taught us all something. Now, when we talk to our elders or just our old friends, when we have these conversations, we should basically ask them, brother, uncle, grandma, what has life taught you? And if their response is, life hasn't taught me anything, A, I would think that they're under the influence, or B, if they're sincere, then they, and I'm not saying this to be funny, but they got to be a fool. Life hasn't taught you anything for these 30 or 40 years. Life has not gave you any inkling that either something is wrong or something is good. So once again, when we have these conversations, it's fine to get around the table or go out to eat and talk about these things and figure out what has life taught you, and I can learn from you, you learn from me, vice versa.
And this is why our children are struggling, I think. Our children are struggling a lot, in my estimation, because we don't tell them valuable lessons that life has taught us. We
Yep.
just say, we just say what we do, Chaz. We just say, for example, if we do something, we'll say, well, when I was younger, I did this. But we never talk about what life has taught us, you see. And
Exactly.
this is the drawback that we all find ourselves in. Experience in life should have taught us all something. You mean to tell me, Chaz, life has not taught us one thing? We don't act like it. We don't act like it. And this is why we
Right.
act like brutes. You know, we act like cavemen and cavewomen because we just lack looking for what has life taught us.
Yeah, and I keep going back to this too because I gotta keep hinting at the police. Now, I'm pretty sure everybody in America has had some kind of run-in with the police, not going to the penitentiary, but traffic, you get pulled over, or some kind of way where the police is, interfering. As a black man or a black woman, just that alone should have taught you through all the videos we see on YouTube, all the stuff we see on the news. It should have taught us something. Basically, how to respect the cop, because at an alarming rate, if you get smart or you look at them funny, they're looking for an issue to delete us. So for the life lesson that should have taught us, basically act with sense and treat the cops with sense, and normally nothing will happen. But if you get a smart mouth and want to get mouthy, then that's when bad things
But
happen.
Chaz, don't touch that dial. I know you quick on the trigger tonight, but I want to add to that because what I'm looking at is this:
Okay.
when we don't give lessons that life has taught us, I'm gonna tell you something, Chaz, and a lot of people don't want to hear it. But what that means to me is you're disrespecting your mama, you disrespecting your
Mm.
daddy, you disrespecting your grandmother, you disrespecting your grandfather, you disrespecting your aunts, you disrespecting your uncles, you disrespecting your ancestors. Why? Because they all taught us growing up some lessons, Chaz. They all have instilled in us some basic, valuable lessons. But we are too pig-headed to look at what they taught us to give to the next generation because we're too busy trying to get over on somebody, trying to beat somebody, trying to be slick, Slick Willie, always trying to posture. And this is why we are the way we are. And Chaz, we got to stop that because when we don't talk about the lessons life has taught us, that's a disrespect to those who came before us, who raised us, because I know everybody's mother and father and grandmother, grandfather, I know they said something to us growing up about, boy, when you get older, look out for this, or you better do that. And see, we don't like people to tell us that, but everybody's parents, for the most part, they've instilled in us valuable lessons, but we don't want to talk about these life's lessons.
I'll take it a step further, brother. I think that the people who like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, all these ancestors that have done a lot for us, I hate to say this, brother, but I gotta say it.
Uh-oh, uh-oh.
The stuff that they have instilled in us, which it is some good, valuable information. And I hate saying this, brother. Us as a society, We don't care about it. We don't.
Oh, Chaz, come on, Chaz. No, come on, Chaz.
I hate saying that, but
Come
I really
on,
believe
Chaz.
I'm at the point now where I think a lot of our youth, even our elders, all that stuff that Malcolm X and all these W.E.B. Du Bois, I don't think that this interests us. We're not.
Come on,
At this
Chaz. You
point,
wrong for that. You wrong for that, Chaz. Come on.
I believe at one point you did have a group of people who were fired up and ready to go. But brother, as I said last week, the technology, our jobs, our kids, all these things have basically took a control of us, and we don't care anymore. Now, let me get to a couple new comments we got here. 1 second. Sister Sakina, she fires in here. She says, "Greetings, brothers. We appreciate her."
Yes, big sister.
And Sister Barbara fires in here. She says, "Please teach that again, Ja." So whatever you saying, Sister
Yeah,
Barbara.
I know what she's talking about because she's a stickler for parental guidance. She's a
Okay.
stickler for ancestral leading and guidance. And this is what it's all about because many of us have forgotten, as you just eloquently said, we have forgotten what our ancestors have taught us because now we're trying to be nickel slick. We're always trying to get over on people. We always trying to pimp people. We always getting books and reading in books, but we don't apply the principles because this is a disgrace. But a lot of us don't want to have this kind of lesson because this lesson exposes you. It exposes me. It exposes all of us that we are hypocrites because when the chance comes for us to respect our elders, many of us, we disrespect our elders. We disrespect our children.
Mm.
We disrespect our brothers and sisters. We disrespect our family members. We disrespect everybody. We disrespect authority. We disrespect our own selves, Chaz. And this
Yeah.
gotta stop, man. This is why we have not taken it to another level as a people because we don't want to have these kinds of serious discussions for fear of being exposed, which we should be.
Spot on, brother. Well said. Spot on. As we move forward to the next one here, lesson A: respect yourself enough to take care of yourself. And the simple 3 points that I've got on my notes here: number one, your physical health, exercise, walk, try to keep yourself in shape as best as possible. And two, positive talk. You know, there's a lot of negative things going on, the news, social media, the people in our neighborhood. It's all this negative talk. And sometimes, if you're not careful, it can dwell in us and we start seeing ourselves the way that the news, the social media, and our elders, we start seeing ourselves the way they see us. So it's important to have positive talk because if you don't, you're getting depression, you get on these psych meds, and then before you know it, your life goes down a slippery slope. And then my last point I want to set here was setting boundaries. You know, it's okay to have certain things that you do, but when you have boundaries, for example, when someone calls you at 11 or 12 at night, you can tell them sometimes it's not nothing personal. I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry, sister. This is too late. I can't help you. But see, some of us don't have boundaries. Let people walk all over us. We'll get up and we'll go. And, you know, sometimes things happen. But those are the three I want to reiterate. As taking care of yourself, doing some physical health, setting boundaries, and having positive talk.
Yeah, Chaz, because respect for yourself is very interesting because we've always been taught love your neighbors as yourself. But if you hate yourself, you cannot
Mm,
love your neighbors and you cannot love yourself because low self-esteem is running rampant in the African American community. This
yes.
broadcast is a broadcast that gives high esteem. This
Yeah.
broadcast is a broadcast that talks to people like grown men and grown women. It teaches us that as a people, we have to respect ourselves enough to take care of ourselves. Take care of your health, as you
Yeah.
said. Take care
Yeah.
of your body. Take care
Yeah.
of your mind. Take care of everything that happens to be about you. But again, Chaz, we wait for other people to tell us things that we should already know. And that's why this is a beautiful Thursday night special. You're hearing from Chazz and Jahi on
Yeah.
Adults Only Real Conversations because we fired away. And this is a Thursday night special. And we want everybody to know that Wednesday night is the night we normally come on. But we're giving it to you on a Thursday night tonight.
Yeah. I was going to say that part what's got you energized.
No, you the one firing away at these people, man. You know, you're the one that's encouraging the people, challenging the people, rebuking yourself, rebuking me. And we need big brothers and sisters that's going to tell the truth and stop kowtowing and hiding behind cell phones and religious books.
We're going to go ahead and move to one of the new comments we got here. Sister Barbara fires in here. She says, If life lessons hasn't taught a grown woman or grown man how to respect their parents, something has got to be wrong with the mind. Absolutely. As adults, we should respect if they're still alive, because some of our parents have deceased. We understand that. But for the ones that are still alive, we should respect them, do what they say, be the best that you can, and not, some I hear are getting fights with their parents. Now, there are always going to be disagreements, but you shouldn't be cussing your parents out or just, fist fighting and things like that.
I
Do you
want to
have
jump in there, Chaz. Yeah, I want to jump in there because that really got my feathers ruffled when she said that, because she's telling the truth. But the part I want to take out of this comment is this part that says, it, if life lessons hasn't taught a grown woman or grown man how to respect their parents, this is the part I wanted to talk about. Something has got to be wrong with the mind. She's right. This is a deranged person to treat their parents like that. This is a delusional person to treat their parents like that. This is a sick individual to treat their parents like that. This is a person that has a mindset that's low as a worm to
yeah,
treat the very person that brought you into this world the way we treat our parents, the way we talk to them, the way we don't talk to them, the way we disrespect them, the way we ignore them, and I can go on and on. But she got me going when she said that, because that's what's wrong with many of us today. We don't respect our parents, and there means that there's something wrong with this psyche of ours, and it has to be changed, because we want to encourage the people tonight. Stop
yeah,
it. Don't be
yeah.
like that.
And I'll take it a step further. Like I said, I'm starting to see a lot with the kids or even grown adults with the parents. Like I said, they're cussing around them, they're drinking around them, they're smoking around them. It's just anything goes now. So hopefully we can put a lid to that. Sister Sakina fires in here. She says, one thing I've learned is pick your battles. Many things are not worth the battle. If you choose to battle, do something about it. She's right. There are some things in life that you gotta ignore. You don't always have to, every time something come your way, you gotta fight fire with fire. Like she's saying here, pick your battles wisely. Life is too short to be trying to put out all these fires. You're gonna have a fire every other day you're trying to put out. You're gonna burn yourself out living like that. So what this sister is saying is, please pick your battles wisely. And when you choose to fight, you gotta do something about it. She's
Yeah,
spot
and I
on.
want to add to the queen's. I want to add to the queen's comment, because most of us, we don't want to do what she said. Now, this is a beautiful encouragement. She says this is something that she has learned, which is wonderful, because she's teaching us what life has taught her, what life's experiences taught her. But many of us, we don't want to pick our battles because we want to fight everything. Everything that come our way, move out the way. Let me have that. Move out the way. Let me have this. And it's whacking us. It's tearing us. It's tossing us to and fro. And we have been so minuscule in the mind to think that we can fight every battle, but we're so immature that we don't even realize that, like she says, we don't know how to pick our battles. We want to fight everything come our way. I can handle this. I can handle that. I'm the man. I'm the woman. Did you see me tossing? Did you see me scuffling? And basically what that does is it tears up the mind, so that when we become adults, then we become good for nothing.
We got a couple more comments, and we'll get back to the program. We appreciate you viewers for logging in, sticking with us on the Thursday night special. We really do appreciate you. Sister Barbara fires in here. She says, I haven't mastered how to channel my emotions when someone makes me angry. Once I've taken on much. Yet it's my mindset to do better in order that life's lessons will teach me what I need to do. Well, that's well said. She's been upfront. She's saying that she hasn't mastered her emotions when people get her angry. Sometimes she just goes off on the deep end. That's understandable. We all are human beings here. But the main point that I'm trying to get at here is she's saying up front, I have a problem with my emotions when people make me angry. I have to figure out a way how to contain that, because it's really getting the best of her.
Well, we might not get through with this broadcast as far as all the comments that we're getting that are beautiful. We might not get through all of our comments and our notes, but we can always pick it up next week, because I'm just want everything they're saying. I want to jump on it, because this is a broadcast for the people. This is the
Right.
broadcast for the grown people. It's called adults only. Of course, young people can watch it because they can learn from it, but this is for adults only. And basically what she's saying here is she has to learn how to master and channel her emotions. She hit the nail on the head. It's these emotions that get us in trouble. It's these emotions that we don't know how to control. It's these emotions that have us up one day, down the next day. It's these emotions that we don't know how to talk to people. It's these emotions that get us when we don't know how to think properly. So again, that's key to life, Chaz, and that's a very valuable point. Once we can learn how to channel these emotions, we're going to live better lives as individuals. So that's a good life lesson, she said.
We appreciate it. This is the last comment, and we'll get back to it. Sister Sakina fires back in here. She says, "One lesson learned is pick your battle. Everything may not even everything. I'm sorry. One lesson learned is pick your battle. Everything may not even be worth getting upset about." Yeah, and that is true. Everything, because if you keep living like the way this sister's saying, where you upset at everything, you're gonna have high blood pressure. You're gonna have to constantly go to the doctor, and it's a recipe for disaster after that.
Yeah, Chad, and you know, Sister Sakina, she's a beautiful woman. She's a wonderful woman. She is very sagacious. You know, she is very, very haughty in her mind and love and not arrogant. And she loves life. And basically, when I talk to her, she always have this melancholy type of attitude, but she's always teaching people how to be better people. And this is a good lesson that she's saying is pick your battle, because everything may not be worth getting upset about. That's why we have so many African Americans who have ulcers. That's why we have so many African Americans who have high blood pressure. That's why we have so many African Americans who are on medicine, because their emotions, they get upset about everything. And after a while, like we've done broadcasts in the past about the amygdala and the brain cells and what happens, we can't sustain that, Chaz. And we're warning everybody right now. We're warning everybody. You've got to take life's lessons and do something about it to be better, as opposed to just always trying to
Uh-oh. Looks like we lost this brother here. I don't know what happened. Brother, you still on with us? Okay. Let me see if you could come back. But this brother was on a roll here. But yeah, he's right. We are having high blood pressure. We're having hypertension. We cannot continue to keep doing this. Okay. Let me see, this brother's back in here. Let's get him back in. Okay. What happened, brother? You were on a rant. Can you make sure I can hear you clearly? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, brother?
I can't hear you, but I can see you, but I can't hear you.
Okay. What about now?
I can't.
Okay. What about now? You can't hear me?
Can you? Nope. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Hold on. Let me get you out and then come back
Okay.
on.
Well, yeah, I can't hear you, Chaz.
What about now?
Now I can.
Okay, brother. I hate to have these technical difficulties. You were on the rant, and it seems like we've been having these issues with these technical difficulties.
But that wasn't your fault or my fault. Someone called me, and
Okay.
they know better between 6 to 7 Central Standard Time. But I'm going to deal with that person, as the sisters have said. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna pick my battles, but I'm going to
Okay.
politely let them know that, like you mentioned, don't, you know. And sometimes we all forget. But come
Right.
on now, we've been doing this for years, Chaz. They just trying to. I don't know if it was somebody trying to throw a monkey wrench in it, but carry on with the show, brother.
Okay. Lesson B. Life should be purposeful. One should be living life to the fullest. Now, we should have growth, contribution, and meaningful goals. Now, when I say meaningful goals, it doesn't always have to be that you're a millionaire, a billionaire, but something that's going to keep you out of trouble. Because here's the thing: when you don't have goals, 9 times out of 10, people slip into two categories: A, depression, or B, they get involved with the prison system where they're doing crime or they don't have enough money. So they're bored and they're looking at ways on how can I make quick cash. And 9 times out of 10, that's a recipe for disaster. So once again, you should have growth, contribution, and meaningful goals.
Chaz, you know, sometimes you have to ask people this question, and here it is: what are you living for? I mean, you gotta ask that question. What are you here on this earth for? And you're going to get a whole lot of rigmarole. and it's going to be nonsense because most of us don't have a purpose. We're just living to make money. We're living to get a male or get a female. We're living for clothes. We're living for material things. We're living for status quo. We're living, fat mouthing. We're just living because we want everybody to think that we're something. Life should be lived with a purpose. And the purpose in this life is to make ourselves better, Chazz, because we live in a world that's evil. We live in a world that's wicked. We live in a world that's mean. And so we have to be our best selves. I know you have a video that shows African Americans in the past that had a life that they live with purpose, don't you?
Let me see if I can find it real quick. Give me 1 second here as a
that Uncle Jocelyn. Yeah, that's a beautiful video that shows our ancestors who showed that life should be lived with a purpose.
Okay, give me 1 second. Here it is right here. Stand by. Wow, that was a fiery video. All of those people are ancestors that paved the way for us. And once again, we can never, ever thank them enough for what they have done for us. We truly do appreciate it. I know you got something to say about that video.
Yeah, because their lives were lived with a purpose, man. Everybody that you saw, their lives had a purpose. Many of them died for us. Many of them
Right.
had a purpose. They were on a mission. Many of them taught us. Many of them did certain things to help us in the entertainment world, in the social world, in the political world, in the religious world, in the spiritual world. I mean, we have examples. When are we going to learn, as you challenged us earlier? When are we going to learn? But you said that means nothing to many of us. So that means we got to keep this fire going. We have to keep it going.
Yeah, and to some, I think it doesn't mean a lot too. But for the ones who do appreciate it, this is, like I said, putting a fire under our behinds here. We really do appreciate that. There's a couple new comments that we didn't get to here. This is a dialogue as always. We appreciate all you guys that's in with us tonight. Sister Barbara says she's loving this dialogue. Fire with emojis with the strong guard. She says, keep it coming. We appreciate that. And then she also says, preach. But yeah, like I said, those ancestors, man, they really did a lot for us, and we could not thank them enough. Lesson C. Your children learn more from what you do than what you say. Now, our actions outweigh our words. So basically what that means here is that what we tell them to do, sometimes it's not the correct thing. Well, I'll put it like this. We tell them what to do that's correct and what should be done, but they see us acting in the opposite direction. So if we're
Yeah,
acting like that,
yeah,
9 times
yeah,
out of
yeah.
10, they're going to pick up on our behaviors and our mannerisms and start acting these things out, get in trouble at school, and then therefore you have a slippery slope.
I want to take this plane, Chazz, and I want to take it off. I'm on the runway right now on this plane, and I am speaking to you in metaphorical and figurative language to bring a point across. So the
Okay.
plane is on the runway now. Now I want to take the plane off. So here it is as the plane is getting ready to crest into the sky. What you have in many lives, Chazz, is this. You have parents who always say what the child should do, and they're telling the truth.
Right.
But then you have parents who never do what they tell the child to do, and the child see that. When the
Right.
children get older, they mimic the very thing that the parents told them. So now they tell their children to do things that they're not going to do. So what do we call that in real life? We call that hypocrisy. We call it being
Ooh.
duplicitous. We call it being two-faced, saying one thing and then saying another thing. And this is what we are, Chaz, but we got to grow up, man, because life should have taught us you're going to have to demonstrate and model before your children exactly what they should be doing because they look up to us. They see us lying, and so they do it. They see us cheating on people. They see us getting over and all of that. And
Whoa.
then a lot of them, they do it. Some don't, and some do.
That was really, really good. That was well said. I especially that cheater part because they do see that a lot, but we think they don't see it, but they see it. Lesson D: your circle matters a lot. Don't be influenced by those that try to take you down. Yeah, our circle does matter. You know, there's going to always be talk. Always people going to be saying these things that's close to us. You should do this. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't invest in this. You shouldn't invest in that. But we can't let that make our judgments off basically because of what they feel. Sometimes they may be saying stuff because they see that you have a goal and they don't want you to accomplish it. So they'll say something to throw you off, hoping that you take the bait. But we have to be careful because, like I said, I think a lot of us, we can't think for ourselves. In fact, we base our life off of what they tell us. So whatever we ask them questions about, whatever they say, we go with it. We run with it. We don't have any self-reflection to where we say, you know what they told me, that doesn't make sense. I'm going to make my own decision. No, we're so influenced by them that whatever they say, we run with it, and it's just a shame.
Let me take that to another level too, Chaz. First of all, this broadcast can be seen every Wednesday at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. But tonight we're coming to you on a Thursday because this is entitled our Thursday Night Special. Every now and then we're going to give you a Thursday night special so that you can kind of see what we're dealing with for those who don't get a chance to watch us on Wednesdays. And then I want to say about this. Your circle matters a whole lot. Who you hang around with, Chaz, in many instances, they influence us because some of us want to be tough. Some of us
Uh-oh.
want to be the gangster. And we're really not like that. We're really nice people. But our friends make us want people to think that we're tough. So when our
Yeah.
friends curse, and I'm talking about myself growing up, when I was around my friends, whatever they did, I did. Like a
Okay.
guinea pig. Whatever they said, I said. And
Okay.
I realized that a lot of my friends got me in trouble because I wasn't an individual thinker. The
Okay.
people that I hung around with were always using vulgarity, always smoking dope, always drinking, always doing things. And so I developed that because they influenced me, Chaz. And so my parents tell me all the time, boy, you better be careful who you hang around with. But see, I was pig-headed. I was hard-headed, see, and I had to learn the hard way. And we're saying to those younger people that's watching this, you don't have to learn the hard way. You got to be careful who you hang around with. And if nobody else tells you, Chaz and I are going to tell you, be careful when you're hanging around with no good people that's getting you to do stuff that you know you shouldn't do.
Yeah, and I think myself included. I mean, we all have had that phase where we were, like you said, we're nice people. We're very, very calm, mild mannered, but sometimes we get this urge or this itch to want to hang around with these rough guys and these tough guys. And sometimes bad things happen, but like you said, most of us are really calm people. We got to go back to what we usually are. We got a new comment here. Brother Ray fires in here. He says, "Hey, good brothers, what's going on, Brother Ray? We appreciate you for logging in with us today." And we go ahead and move on to the next one here. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Lesson E. An informed mind is hard to manipulate. See, when you study and you know what you're talking about, you know it's factual. This is where I get at people with the news. Everything that the news tells you is not always the truth. Now, in most cases, yeah, when there's fires or someone has lost their lives, yeah, okay, those things are true. But the news is not going to tell you what's really going on in society because they have an interest to keep us what you call in this rat race. They're going to keep us misinformed and doing all kind of things because they have their own agenda. When you know these things, it's hard for them to manipulate you. So I just want to put that out there because I have a big hang up with the news. Not all of them, but most of them. They don't tell you what's really going on in society. They give you halfway truths, and when you have an informed mind, it's hard for them to get over on you.
And that's a lesson that life should have taught all of us. A lesson that life should have taught us all is an informed mind is hard to manipulate. This is why people will do anything because people have manipulated them and their mind is not informed. This is why people will drop bombs on innocent people and call themselves the victim when they're doing the crime. This is why people will get over on people, hang and manipulate and influence a system to where you degrade and you beat the people down. This is why people will listen to people that use religion to whip the people and take the people's money and make the people seem so docile and weak because you have to be able to be informed. This is why people can't have a relationship like you and I are talking where I know that you're trying to get over on me, so therefore I'm not going to fool with you. So we got to learn that life should have taught us that you have to know what you're doing. If not, someone's going to take advantage of us because everybody's out to get our money. They're out to get our mind. They're out to get our time. They're out to get our talents. They're out to get everything about us, and therefore we have to do that.
Let me go ahead and read a new comment we got in. Brother Ray Fires in here. He says, I never had a hero. At the same time, Malcolm X, Stephen Biko, as well as Kwame Ture were all great influencers of mine. Okay, well, that's good. That's good. I mean,
and I think, and I want to jump in on that too, because tonight's lesson, tonight's subject is we're talking about life's lessons and what people have taught us and what life has taught us as far as experience. And these great men that Ray put on the screen, they were not heroes, but they were people who taught us some valuable lessons. And this is why we can take a person like Stephen Biko, Kwame Ture. They influence him, he's saying. And that's what we're talking about tonight. What lessons have we learned from these people? So if we can be even practical when we say Malcolm X, what did Malcolm teach us? Not just his name. Stephen Biko, what lesson did Stephen Biko teach us? Kwame Ture, what lesson did he teach us? Kwame Ture taught me that if we're ever going to be anything as a people, we're going to have to unify. And we got to be united. I don't mean everybody, but those of like-mindedness, we're going to have to put our minds and our brains together to bring about a social change in this community that we're living in that's as rotten to the core.
And I got to bring this up real quick, and I know we got to move forward. But one thing that Malcolm X taught us, we've all seen the infamous picture to where he's peeking out of the blinds. He has a machine gun in his hand. But the point is here is that at one time, those people who were after him, they were with him. They were cool. They were probably talking like me and you. And for some reason, they turned on him. The point is, not everybody's out to get you. It's just sad that the people who were chopping it up like me and you, these people turned on him. And it's a shame that there are people like that out there. I hate that the brother went through that.
Yeah, Chazz, we can't let that go because we can just say life has taught us a valuable lesson, and that is everybody ain't going to be with you when the stuff hits the fan. And you know what I really want to say. When the stuff hits the fan, and it's even people on our broadcast, man. Even people on our broadcast whom we love dearly, all those who subscribe to our broadcast, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Real Conversations, Adults Only Real Conversations. But a lot of people don't want to hear this, man. But we got to keep saying it in spite of, just like Malcolm, just like Stephen, just like Martin, just like Rosa, just like all those people we talk about, man. We've got to keep saying these things because we're in a war right now. And I don't think we realize that the life's lessons that we were taught back in the day, they can propel us to another height if we just take those lessons and apply them.
And then we are in a bigger war, brother. It's a spiritual war. It's our war on our food. It's a war on our health. It's a war on our children. It's all kind of wars. And like the sister Sakina said earlier, now this one, you got to try to put out all these fires because there's so much coming at you with our health, our food, our religion. All these things are coming at you, and it is a war out here, and we have to stay sharp. Letter F. It says, if I want to change, it must start with me. I'll let you
No,
take
you didn't
that.
say you didn't say that right, Chazz. Read that slowly and tell it again like it says.
That's an F. If I want the world to change,
No,
I must start with me.
there you go. Now let me take over. Now that the airplane is off the ground and cruising at an altitude of about 85,000 feet, I want to just be cool with this because it's basically talking to me. If I want the world to change, I gotta look at myself, Chazz. I can't look at you. I can't look at everybody else. I can't always run my mouth talking about what other people ain't doing and how people should do things. I gotta start with me, and that's one of the problems that life hasn't taught many of us. We want to change the world. We want this
Right,
to be a better place, but we don't want to change ourselves, Chazz. And this is
right.
why the world is in a terrible fix because most of us don't know how to change ourselves and we don't want to start with ourselves. We want to start with everybody else but ourselves. And that's a valuable lesson that we should have learned a long time ago. If we want the world to change, it's got to start with us, Chaz. It can't
Yeah,
start with everybody else because they're
yeah,
not going to change. Even if we change, listen, if you and I change, the world would be a better place. It's just that
yeah.
simple.
And I was gonna say, if we change, sometimes that's a effect where somebody may say, "Okay, we see this brother has changed." Now they may see the good and all the changes you doing. Now they may want to get on board and say, "Okay, I see the benefits, I see the fruit. I want to get on to what this brother or what this sister is on." And that's how you get other people. And before you know it, you multiply that times 4, times 5. Then you got a lot of people just changing for the better. And once again, when you change, sometimes you're not going to always see results instantly, overnight, within a few seconds. This change takes a while. And the point is, brother, a lot of us don't have the patience and the willpower to fight this thing off. We want something quick in the microwave and done. But we have to make sure that we have the
We
patience.
want to play the blame game, Chaz. We don't want to change, but we want everybody else to change. We always pointing our fingers at other people, but we don't want to point our fingers at ourselves. We don't want to say to people, you know, I have a problem with lying. I have a problem with procrastinating. I have a problem with being myself. I have a problem with knowing who I am. I have a problem with history. I have a problem with social injustice. See, we don't want to come that way, but we want to talk about everybody else. And that's the problem that I see in the world. And that's why life's lessons should affect us first before it affects anyone else.
Got a couple more comments. We appreciate you guys for logging in with us on this Thursday night. Brother Ray Fires in here. He says, that's right. So he loves what we're spitting. We appreciate that. He says, self-determination as individuals and as a race.
Now
And then
that's a good point. You can go back to that one, Chaz, that he said. Um, Self-determination, that's a good lesson that life should have taught us. If we're going to do anything, we have to be determined ourselves. No one's going to do this for us. Nobody's
right,
going to save us, man. And
right.
history teaches us that. So I just want to shoot that in there as you go to the next comment.
Brother Ray Fires back here. He says, we can't change anything worthwhile without changing ourselves. Do the work and be honest with yourself. Fool yourself sets you up for everyone else's fool. Exactly. We have to be honest with ourselves, even though we may not like the circumstances, even though we may not like what we see this brother is saying. We got to be honest with ourselves first. It starts with us, and then after that, everything else will get better. But like he said, I want to keep highlighting here. We got to be honest with ourselves. We have to be. And that was well said. And then he also fires back and he says he hit the like button. We appreciate
Oh yeah,
that.
we want to tell everybody, hit the like button, share this broadcast, go and tell people about this broadcast so they can become subscribers because as you can see, we're legitimate. You know, we're not talking about nobody's mama. We're not talking about social media. We're talking about life's lessons on how we can become better person. Who wouldn't want to talk about how they can better themselves other than a person who's not interested in growth? And that's one of the problems that we have in this world, Chaz, is life's lessons haven't taught us enough to where we want to grow. We want to still be stuck as immature, as teenagers. We're grown, but we have our teenagers' mindset. We can't think. We don't know how to live. And so therefore we result to doing things that are just hellacious.
Lesson G. If the same mistakes keeps repeating, then a lesson from life is being ignored. Exactly. If you're not grasping or understanding these same things that keep coming at you over and over, year after year, night after night, week after week, month after month, that shows you that you're not understanding, or you shouldn't. I'm sorry, you're not understanding the lesson that is presented to you. And the more you ignore it, the more it's just going to keep getting worse and worse. So you got to address it head on. But the problem is that, brother, when we see these, we like to ignore it. We don't want to face it. We try to, push it away, or, fan it away. And this lesson keeps coming back around. It keeps coming back around, and we keep trying to ignore it. And the lesson, it just never goes away.
And Chazz, I want to add to that because we might have to stop at this point because I know we got about 10 minutes, or maybe even 20 minutes because I know we started a little earlier. But the point that I want to make in this is if the same mistake keeps repeating itself, then the lesson from life is being ignored. So stop making excuses about who we are. Stop making excuses for yourself and realize that life is trying to teach my silly self something, but I keep looking the other way. And then I want to tell everybody that I've learned a lot about life. Life ain't taught you a what thing. It's just that
Uh-oh.
people, Chazz, many of us play games with ourselves. And as Ray said earlier, we fool ourselves. We think we're all that. We think we have all the answers. We think we are the stuff. We think the sun shines and sets on our behind. We think that we're all that in a bag of chips. But in reality, Chazz, many of us are chumps because we have not allowed
Oh,
because we have not allowed these lessons to take us to another level because we're angry the way you and I are saying this. We're angry at people challenging each other. We're angry because people are telling us to change and we don't want to change. Who do they think they are telling me what to do? Life should have taught us that a long time ago as people tell us the same thing. So again, we got to quit making excuses when we're basically just ignoring life's lessons.
and I have to replay this video. I don't know if there's any new viewers here. We played a video earlier about our Black history, all the ancestors who paved the way. I want to replay this one more time, and we'll be back with you. Give me one moment. Wow, that was a fiery
Yeah,
presentation all
see,
about
Chess,
ancestors.
and I want to say that all those people were life's lessons. It doesn't matter whether you like them all, whether I like them all. It doesn't matter whether you single one out or I single one out. Everyone that you saw in that image, those images, we can learn from them, but we got to stop being so critical all the time, talking about everybody, always
Yeah,
pointing the finger like we're perfect. And this is
yeah.
why I'm going to stop this nonsense because life should have taught us that no one's perfect. Those people stood for something. Many of them died for something. And a lot of us, all we do is sit back and pick one out and say, well, I didn't like James Brown because he did this. And forget the whole point of this man dealt with racism. This man dealt with sexism. This man had a lot of issues like all of us, but he still talked about being black, being proud, and just different ideas that he gave us that life's lessons has taught us. But we're so holier than thou, we're going to sit back and pick a few of them out and say, I didn't like him because of that. That's nonsense, and that's hypocritical right there.
Yeah, and myself included, we do get caught up in that where we isolate certain things that these stars have done, and which we all have done wrong at some point, but we let one or two things persuade us to stop liking the person altogether. We got to stop that.
Let me ask you this, Chaz. When they put your face up on an image like that, when they put my face up on the image, someone can say something about us, man. When they put out all of the viewers, when we put your face on these images, when you see yourself, other people can say things about you. So stop it. Stop it. Because you don't have to keep criticizing them because you think you're better than them and you think you have all the solutions. It's like I said, when they put your picture up there, they put my picture, they put all of the viewer pictures up there, somebody's going to say something about us. Why? Because none of us are perfect. So stop the nonsense and learn from life lessons.
We got a couple more comments as we get ready to wrap up Thursday night special. We appreciate all you guys who came in here today. Brother Ray says, if you love yourself, you should be improving yourself daily. Absolutely. Like we said earlier, improving yourself by your physical health, what you call meditating, reading, always doing something daily to help get yourself better. And he's absolutely right. You should be improving yourself daily. And he has one more comment. He says, you don't have to like someone to learn from them.
That's true.
If we don't like someone, we automatically throw all their work out awesome away. But he's right. You may not like them, but learn from what they taught or some of the philosophies that they had.
Yes, I was taught this. There's good in everybody. All you got to do is look at it, especially African Americans, because you got to look at our situation and say, yeah, that brother might not have done all that he could. Yeah, that sister might not have done all that she could. But what good did they teach? See, instead of looking for the negativity, because this is that crab in the barrel effect that we have now, and this is why life's lessons aren't really big in our lives, because we're too busy critiquing and criticizing everybody. And as the brother said, you don't have to like everybody to learn from them.
Absolutely. And this was a good broadcast, brother. It looks like we're going to have to stop and come back next week. This is a powerful broadcast. In fact, it made everything go by quicker because we had so many comments. Sister Sakina, Brother Ray, Sister Mashana, all you guys did an excellent job today. And we do appreciate you once again on this Thursday night special. But tonight was something that I could learn from as well, as far as all those points we hit on, as far as what has life taught us. How old are we? Why are we still carrying on, myself included, as we did? We were in high school or middle school. We have to grow up from that. And the things that it did teach us, share these things with other individuals and talk to them one-on-one. You don't have to do it as far as for accolades or credit. You do it one-on-one. You can pick up the phone and call them and ask brothers and sisters, what has this life taught us? Because it is teaching us a lot of lessons. And like we said earlier, we don't like to face these problems head on. We want to look the other way. We want to duck these problems. We don't want to face them head on. And these problems are constantly staring us right in the face. But that was pretty much all I had. Brother Ray had one more comment. He says, peace, love, respect. Appreciate you, Brother Ray. What's your final comments before we get out of here tonight on your special edition of Thursday Night Special?
My final comment, Chaz, is adults only. They look at life's lessons, adults only. They look at these lessons and say, I got to be a better person. I'm not where I should be, but at least I'm going to try on a daily basis until I leave this place, is to be a better person, you see. Adults only are people who say, I need to listen to broadcasts and podcasts that's going to uplift me. This is many people's religion. Many people may not go to church, but they watch adults only real conversations because we're going to keep it real. So we give them principles, we give them rebuke, we give them encouragement, we give them everything they need like we give to ourselves. And so we're here tonight to tell you that life's lessons are important. Please learn from life. Don't be a stooge. Don't be nonsensical. Don't always be a jokester. Don't always be a character. Keep posting positive posts on social media. Keep uplifting one another. We are at war and we need each other. So stay positive, brothers and sisters, and know
Yeah.
that we're going to come back next Wednesday because this broadcast can be seen every Wednesday. But as Chad said, we give you a Thursday night special every now and then, and that's what we're doing tonight. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Share this with people and let them know if you're an adult, you can't afford to miss what we have to say because we love you and we're telling you the truth about life. And that's what it's all about now. Until you and I grow up and act grown and stop talking about being grown, we're going to continue to run around like a dog trying to chase its tail, which we'll never catch. So once again, I'm coming to you live from San Antonio, Texas, and it's dark here at Madison Park. So I just wanted to do something different, but I really enjoy this. I might start going to the park all the time, Chaz, different parks, giving you this broadcast. 'Cause I like this kind of stuff. It really feels good out here, man.
Yeah, it really is. It's a nice seeing where you at. We hope that everybody enjoyed this broadcast. Please tune back in next week so we can give you another powerful broadcast on how to learn from life's lessons. Once again, we appreciate all the viewers coming in here tonight, and we hope to see you guys next week.